In this video, we're going to take a look at two units to measure temperature with, degrees Celsius and degrees Fahrenheit. Now, in most places in the world, they use the metric method of measuring temperature, which is degrees Celsius. And that's what we use here in Canada. But just across the border, they use degrees Fahrenheit. So we're going to take a look at how we can convert between the two. But just for reference sake, if you think of water, in degrees Celsius, that freezes at 0 degrees and it boils at 100 degrees Celsius. So that's actually how the Celsius scale was developed. They looked at water, said let's make it 0 degrees when it freezes and let's make it 100 degrees when it boils, and there's our scale. In Fahrenheit, water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit and it boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's just for some reference. So what I've done here is I pulled a couple of forecasts on January the 17th. Let's just say that you're planning a trip down to Disneyland in California, and you look at the forecast, you're kind of wondering what the day is going to be like. Here's what it's like there on January 17th. So mostly cloudy in the morning, then sunny, fog in the morning, fog locally dense, visibility less than a quarter mile or less. And then here it says highs around 60. Well, that's going to be, of course, 60 degrees Fahrenheit. So maybe we're not totally sure what that is in Celsius, so we'd like to convert it. And here's the formula we can use to convert Fahrenheit to Celsius. So C would be the temperature in degrees Celsius, and F would be the temperature in degrees Fahrenheit. So if we wanted to know how warm it was going to be in degrees Celsius, we would go 5/9 times the temperature in Fahrenheit, which is 60, take away 32. We can get our calculator out, and we can go 5 divided by 9 times bracket 60 minus 32, close the brackets up, and we get a temperature of, well, 15.5. Let's round that up to 16 degrees Celsius. Okay, so we know that it's about 16 degrees Celsius, so you probably want to bring a jacket if you're doing some rides at Disneyland on that day. But then let's say you're there at Disneyland and somebody asks you what the temperature was like back in Maple Ridge, and you tell them that the temperature had a high of +2. They might look at you funny because they don't know what 2 degrees is in Fahrenheit. So then you tell them that, well, Fahrenheit is 9 divided by 5 times the temperature in degrees Celsius, so that's 2 plus 32. So you maybe whip out your calculator on your phone and you say, give me a second here. So 9 divided by 5 times 2 plus 32. And you tell them, oh, it's actually 36 degrees Fahrenheit. And so that's how you would convert between Celsius and Fahrenheit. So if you know the temperature in degrees Fahrenheit, it's 5 divided by 9 times the Fahrenheit minus 32 in brackets. And if you want to convert Celsius to Fahrenheit, you go 9 divided by 5 times your temperature in degrees Celsius and you add 32.